Hello everybody, welcome back. This is JudiciousFire. I'm on the iOS server. I'm looking at the brand new hero, Occultist. This is for the July 2019 update to Castle Clash. He is the big addition this month. Every new hero comes with his or her pros and cons, ups and downs. Hope to explore those today and see how the new hero is. Also get a little gameplay in. Let's go into the Hero's Altar and look specifically at his abilities and also his attributes. He does damage to one hero. Okay, it's very important to keep that in mind. His only attack is simply to throw a dagger at one hero. It's going to do massive damage, or has at least the ability to do massive damage against that hero. But he's only attacking one. Now, every other part of his skill description is going to be based around defense. This is a defensive hero. We need to know what our heroes do best. Okay, he's throwing one little dagger, or he's about to do all the following things for our team from a defensive standpoint. He removes all conditions. All of them, not just one. Removes all negative conditions, debuffs, things that make us weaker, takes them all away from our 6 heroes on the team. Also, he casts a shield on each one of us. The shield lasts 2 seconds. Okay, what does this shield do? All 6 of us will gain 100% attack bonus, and any damage that our team of 6 receive becomes health. It is converted. Our damage becomes a renewal of health. It's very much like a life drain, except the damage that we receive is converted to more health. So if we're getting beaten up, or we're in a battle and we're getting actual contact with an enemy through basic attacks, Anubis's claws are slashing at us, it's going to become health renewal for our hero. If we're getting hit globally by an auto proc, that damage received from the auto proc is going to become a life drain and a health boost to us. So he is a healer, but it is dependent on the fact that we receive damage. If we are not receiving damage, then we're not recovering any health, because the conversion process cannot take place. Now, the 100% attack boost is going to be happening at all times that the shield is active, but does it really matter if you're not attacking or being attacked, not engaged in combat? So that would be passively running, but it certainly does exist. Shield goes for 2 seconds. It's got a 3-second cooldown. Cooldowns in this game always subtract the amount of time that the skill is active from the cooldown time. Skill's active for 2 seconds, that's shield. The cooldown's 3. So for 2 out of every 3 seconds, the shield will be active. For 1 second, it will not be active, and all of those abilities that he provides our team will go away. He takes 50% less damage. He has like a built-in damage reduction, like a built-in mini stone skin. He has fast energy recovery. You would want to stay away from something like a Revitalize on him, because he's able to fire off immediate first contact. He's going to start getting right into action. It would be a wasted or misused talent or insignia on him. Stay away from Revite. He is immune to stun, fear, and silence. So the stun towers in the dungeons can't stun him up. Somebody like a Vlad Dracula, he puts out a fear. He can't be affected by Vlad's fear. And also a silence. Something like Ripper, who does such a tremendous job. They already have a counteractor to a Ripper who tries to silence you, or somebody like an Ares who also provides a silence. So he is definitely a defense-oriented hero. And I would say that if you're attacking someone and you want your heroes to live a long time and to provide a lot of fight time to your heroes, maybe you're running a Doom Balloon and you want to smash up just the base, then he would be very helpful for that. And I consider that to be defensive in the sense that you might be doing the attacking, but you want your heroes to survive as long as possible. It's more of a defensive approach. So he is definitely a defense-oriented. We should know what our heroes do best. He is an auto-proc hero. So he does not have to be directly attacked, nor doing any direct attack. He is able to use his skill. Empower, I choose Empower for a variety of reasons. I only get one skill slot until the hero skin has been released. It has not yet come to iOS. It's only day 2 of the update. So I'm going to have to choose one. I would go with his ability to auto-proc. I don't want him up in the front. I don't want him with a damage-related talent. I don't want him to have to be sustaining damage in that sense and be a frontline guy. He's a supporter. He's like an even more squishy Walla Walla. Okay? He doesn't have the survivability even of Walla. This guy, you got to keep him in the back. Right? He got to be in the parking lot. He can't be on stage. He's going to get killed. So he is definitely defense related. I want to be running him with a variety of things through that auto proc. I choose a Sacred Light right now because he is so squishy and I've got to keep him alive. I think also a Wicked Armor is absolutely fantastic. Both of these, I would rather run him with Wicked Armor because when he throws that one dagger out, he can take a deflect or a reflect that could kill him. Okay, so you got to make sure that he is taken care of. And I do the Wicked Armor, or I think a Zealous Drive would be fine. Something defense related. A Regenerate, and he gets healing bonuses. If he's taking damage during the activation of his skill, remember, you got to be taking damage for that heal to happen. But there's so many healing sources in this game. My gosh. So you don't have to worry about the heals these days. It's coming from so many different outlets. Let's take a look at his... when it comes to his next talent, I might be running... I think something, again, defense-related. Maybe it's like a Sacred Light, and then I could put a Wicked Armor on him, and it's sort of a offensive Sacred Light effect. You get the damage boost, but you also really more, I think, importantly, you get the reduction in reflect or deflect. It's just 7,000 per hit. We are coming in at about almost 49,000 damage, 49,000 attack. Sometimes I use those interchangeably. To be a real curmudgeon about it and super specific, there's a difference between attack and damage in this game. They're not synonymous. His attack is the sword right there. That is what his base attack or what kind of damage he can do to an opponent. So I might have an attack of 100. I'm real strong. But if I can only do 50 damage, that's just the damage or hurt that you take. Okay, so my ability is my attack. My actual damage against you, the opponent, is going to be damage. So ATK versus DMG. But who the heck cares? Okay, he got 50,000 attack, basically. 1.3 plus million health. That is without health augmentation. I'd like to point that out. Normal breakthrough 30 hero coming in at about 1.2 without health augmentation, unless it's like a Michael who has a big health pool, or Orcsbane or somebody, but he's got a huge health pool, 1.3 plus. Decent attack speed, very, very fast moving hero. Very fast moving hero. I don't have any accuracy on the guy because his shield isn't going to miss. And what he does best isn't going to miss. The one dagger he throws out, yeah, that's dependent more so on accuracy. I got a huge dodge rate on the guy. He is not an attacker. I'm not exploring crit in any way. I have a holy conviction. Reduce damage. Keep this squishy man alive. Just like I want to keep Walla out of trouble. I would prefer they not get hit rather than have a big health pool and be able to sustain a lot of hits. I would much prefer they just get out of the way, especially in the role that I'll be using him, which is as a defender and as somebody that is not on the front line. He's in the back, which means he is also going to be susceptible to big crit hits from Dovekeeper or from Lavinica or getting corkscrewed to death auto proc from Zeph. I want to make sure he's got a high dodge rate. I have two videos I'd like to show you, two clips, and I think they really illustrate what this guy does. Let's take a look at those now. Now here we're going to see the new hero doing what he does best. He is going to be converting the damage that we receive into a healing effect. And we're being attacked by Zephs and max breakthrough 30 heroes. This is during the Blitz Gauntlet game mode. And you can see the Occultist there next to my Walla, and he is auto-procking both of them and providing massive heals. You're going to see something else. You're going to see that with the use of Doom Balloon, my opponent is going to be destroying every building on my base. Notice that my heroes aren't taking damage, and the little that they are is being immediately converted to healing. I'm still going to lose this game mode. It's exactly like Guild Wars. Now our heroes are, due to massive healing, basically invulnerable, but our bases are immediately destroyed. One single Doom Balloon will 100% this base. So we've moved into an era of designer talents, designer heroes. This massive healing that is provided, and the ability, like this attacker, the ability to go into stealth mode, a game mode that will either time out or that will result in a loss, as it's just about to, based on the fact that buildings are made of sand and heroes made out of steel. Now, my opponent lost 4 out of 6 of his heroes. All I lost were troops. My heroes didn't go anywhere, but I'd still count it as an absolute failure, just like in Guild Wars. So if you're going to give me the kind of healing and survivability in this game where heroes become nearly invulnerable, then you're going to have to give me the environment in which I can actually fight those heroes. The timer provided, say in Lost Battlefield, is the blink of an eye. Yet it's going to take 5 minutes to take down that stealth survival Dovekeeper. So you're not giving me the environment in which I can be successful. Now here is another example. I'm going to see the Occultist doing what he does best, converting damage into health regain. But we're also going to see the theory applied to reality in terms of gameplay. We're going to see a base that is 100%ed total defeat in this particular Blitz Gauntlet game mode or in something like a Guild Wars. Yet my heroes are as fresh as the day they were born. Perfectly fine. They're dodging, and what they're not dodging is being converted into healing effects because of Occultist. I've got invulnerable heroes, but I have a base that can't sustain damage of any kind. And these are max buildings, max skins, max everything. There is nothing that is going to save my base. So we have gotten to a point of designer talents, insignias, and heroes where, this, like the Saphirica, for example, there's no way to kill this thing. Not in the 3 minutes I'm allotted, and not with a base that goes down in a minute and a half due to one Doom Balloon. Okay, so give me an environment where this is actually able to be counteracted, and we would have a more even playing field. You've got to increase board size. You've got to increase building health. You've got to increase building damage reduction. Buildings damage reduction, that would be much better. Again, lost Dove, lost Lava, lost Ronin, and I lost troops, but it's a total failure. Okay, we're going to do a little practice run on my friend Cataract's, against my friend Cataract's base. I'm going to throw Artica out here. Artica has no pet, neither of these heroes do, and there's no Warden functioning. Artica has no healing ability. Put him right up against Zeph. Okay, one strike. Tremendous damage. Here comes that. Okay, rapid fire. He's out. Okay, now let's put Artica and the new hero. He will give Artica the ability to convert damage into healing. Look at Artica's health bar, as well as the health bar of the new hero. They take a heck of a ton of damage from this Zephyrica. Okay, this is a max Zephyrica. Nearly died. And what ends up happening is that damage is turned into a healing process for the two of them. And you will see it continually dipping down. It's on a 2 out of 3 second cycle. So 2 out of 3 seconds, that conversion of damage into healing will be taking place, as well as a big attack bonus. And then for 1 second, it will stop. That's why the health bar drops all of a sudden. Now, we can see that we can stand toe to toe against the Zephyrica, but what we're going to see is these battles. If you set your heroes up just for healing and for survivability, we're just going to have timeouts as well. This timer will go down to 0. We're also going to see another thing. This hero, the new talent, the new enchantment, will provide health in some way. Well, healing in this game provides either a timeout scenario, and that can be to your benefit in certain game modes, and more power to you if you want to try to time out in a game mode. It's your thing, but it will also create the age of invulnerable heroes. And what we have right here is, Artica's an older dragon with no innate healing ability. It's just standing right there next to the new dragon, getting hit for into the millions in terms of damage, but negating it through the healing process provided by Occultist. So we're going to have timeouts, and we're going to have invulnerable heroes due to the power creep invested in this particular game. And you have to, I guess, choose wisely. You say, hey, I'm going to do Lost Battlefield defense all week long. Well, then you would want to have a team that just times out the opponent rather than trying to beat he or she through active engagement with the enemy. If you want to running a game mode where you actually want to smash up the base, have nothing to do with actually harming the heroes on the base, you would have 100% pure victory. Okay, let's run this guy through the Insane Dungeon 4-9. Now, this is a centaur up here in the corner that has no damage cap. So if we're able to hit him for 10 million, it will register that and it will display that. Our hero is not susceptible to stun in any way. We don't have to worry about freezing those towers. He'll be just fine. When I drop him in front of the centaur, the majority of heroes are killed by the centaur. Most of the heroes in Castle Clash, they take a couple of hits, all of a sudden they're killed. Now, those with revive, they come back, but then they get killed again. Those that have massive damage reduction, it just takes a lot longer for them to die. Those that have a healing effect, they can hang in there a very, very long time. And we're going to be able to see that today. Let's just take a look at our hero. There's no warden functioning. I've canceled that out. And our hero, new hero Occultist, has no pet operating at all. It's just the Empower talent that he has for the autoproc, and also the a Sacred Light insignia. Now, we're getting hit for massive damage, but the damage that we are receiving is being converted into a health regain. You also see his very high dodge rate. Now, dodge is going to prevent him from receiving the heal. He has to take damage in order for it to become health. So if he's dodging, he's not taking damage. But by that same token, do I want to build a hero that is intentionally going to get hit by the enemy just so he can refill his health pool? Well, what would be the point of that? You're creating a problem simply to solve it. It would be better he not take any damage at all. Just get out of the way with dodge. No health conversion, Damage to health conversion taking place. Artica continues to take damage. He's not healing in any way. Okay, let's try it again. Let's get a little closer with the two heroes. Put Artica in there. Right by Orcsbane, we'll put Occultist. Boom. You see the purple shield go up? Purple shield is an indicator that the skill is functioning on Occultist. There is a range limitation to Occultist's abilities. Now, I know the Malaise enchantment is operating. That's affecting healing. It's not affecting the activation of Occultist's skill. It would still be providing a purple bubble or animation around Artica if there wasn't a range limitation. Let's try again. Both at the same time, both in the same spot. Boom, purple bubble affects both of them. Now, what did we just see? It's another part. If you're hit for higher than your health pool, healing means nothing in this game. So if you have 1,000,000 health and you're hit for 1,000,000.1 damage, you're dead and you can't heal. You can't heal from death. You can revive, but you can't heal from death. So you have to be able to be hit for less than your health pool during this process for Occultist to actually be good. Let's do Artica over here. Instantly dead. Okay, purple bubble. This is during an attack scenario. They have to be next to each other, or they have to be in proximity with each other. And that happens with a number of heroes. Their skill effect, totem effects, pet effects. They have to be nearby during an attack scenario. There's that limitation. I don't see it anywhere in the skill description. Look at that huge heal that Artica just got from damage to health conversion. Now, while it does not state this anywhere in the skill description, our hero Occultist has a severe limitation, and that limitation is proximity. In order for his removal of conditions, as well as the shield that converts damage to health, in order for that to be activating, your heroes need to be nearby Occultist. And in this case, as best as I'm able to measure it, we can look at the two videos of the attacks that I had. I had Occultist in the center. Let's do that. I have Occultist in the center here. You see Occultist is able to put the purple shield around every hero due to his proximity to them. But in the next scenario, I'm going to show you here be monsters. I'm going to place the heroes at opposing sides of the board, as well as randomly distribute them in terms of their proximity. The thing is about putting a Occultist in the center, so he is close enough to the rest of your team, regardless of your base setup, that he's able to actually give them that purple shield of damage to health. I'm going to put Occultist in a bad part of the screen next and see how the skill ability is distributed. We're going to try a Here Be Monsters. This is a defense scenario. So in a defensive situation, we're going to see what happens. We have Occultist right here. We have everybody else pretty much evenly distributed throughout the board. Okay, we have some over to the left, some to the right, some in the bottom, some in the middle. See how proximity plays a part. Let's try AH. Purple shield. See purple shield affecting the guys in the center, but not affecting the guys at the bottom. That purple bubble is the indicator that it's actually working. Creation is taking damage, but he's not getting a heal. Valentina's getting a shield around her. She's not taking damage, but the skill effect is showing us through the animation that it is functioning. Look at Creation. Getting no heal at all. Poor Santa. He's not taking any damage, Santa, down there. But if he were, he wouldn't be healing. You can see that Athene is not getting any healing. Now, the two of them go into combat. Nearby, close proximity. Instant conversion. Look at Valentina getting these huge heals. Instant conversion of damage to health. If I take Occultist and I place Occultist right here in the center of the base, you will see that heroes are distributed. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 11, 14. It's about 14 to 15 squares Creation is away from Occultist. And that activates. Occultist will be buffing Creation and giving him that damage to health bonus. Same with Santa. That's activating. Of course, Valentina's getting it. Athene's getting it. Cupid's getting it. But if I take Cupid and I move him even out about that far, beyond about 14 to 15 squares, it appears that he is not getting that boost. So there is a range limitation, most certainly, in all scenarios. Attack scenario, I go out raiding. Defensive scenario, I do a Here Be Monsters. We have a healer on our team, Walla Walla. I'm looking for the purple shield. Now watch Zeph. He just got it. Purple Top Hat is a new animation from Walla Walla. He just got it. Yeah, all the team is getting it. They're all in that proximity. But it seems to be right where Zeph is standing. If he is just moving up towards the top edge of the screen, just a few spaces, he gets out of the range of Occultist. So not what I would call global. It is not a global effect. Okay, what a fantastic illustration of the range that is limiting the skill effect of our friend Occultist. Okay, you see the purple bubble on all these heroes that are right there? You see it on Zephyrica. Watch when Zephyrica just moves a few squares upward. No purple bubble. Purple Top Hat, that's Walla Walla. No purple bubble. Now look, he just moved closer. Boom, purple bubble. It is exactly where my hero base is located. One square upward and we're out of the range. One square inward and we are okay. So let's say the town hall is 4. Then we have 10, 13. It's about 14 squares. Okay, look at the proximity. All the guys are getting the bubble, all 6 of us. Watch Zephyrica. As he moves northward, he loses the purple bubble and Occultist's help. Now, he's got his own healing process, but he is not under the effect of Occultist. Now, he moves closer, purple bubble comes back. See the purple bubble functioning? He's providing himself that damage to conversion. Watch. He loses that ability. Debuffing, paralyzation, freezing. These are, he can't even activate his skill at the moment. These are all things that he is susceptible to. He is not susceptible to stun, but all the other things, freeze, paralysis, and all the types of debuffing, he is immune to silence. But there's a whole lot of other ways to shut somebody down. So, Occultist, where we have him, he is able to affect all of the heroes that are on my base. But if my hero, let's say, is Cupid, and he flies a little bit towards the north, 2 squares, he's going to be out of range. So it looks like about a 14 square range. That is a limitation. It's not going to be a global auto proc where if you had your heroes in all four corners of the board as well as two in the center, you're not going to get that bonus from Occultist. It appears to be both attack and defense related. So if I go attacking someone with Occultist and a couple other heroes, they have to be together in a nearby group for Occultist to be doing anything. I cannot drop Occultist off in the corner and expect that damage to health conversion to take place. He's got to be nearby, about a 14 square distance. I think the auto proc is a great idea. I think the idea of giving us a shield and converting damage to health is a nice addition. But when it comes to Occultist, he is yet another example of how defensively oriented this game has been going. And it becomes more defensive with every update. Now we have the ability to give our heroes healing from their talent, from their insignia, from their enchantment, from a pet, from their own heal-related skill activation, from the heal-related skill activation of a fellow teammate, and from the activation of a Green Warden providing a heal. You now have 6, 7, maybe 8 different ways to simultaneously heal a hero. And now another very effective way through the introduction of the hero Occultist. And the result is going to be timeouts. We have designer heroes, and if you want to design Occultist to be a hero that provides a timeout in an offensive or a defense-related scenario such as Lost Battlefield, and no problem. It was already easy enough with a Stealth Dove or a Stealth Lava. Now it's made even easier to create that formula. When it comes to base defense, he's going to make my heroes a lot stronger, but my heroes were already plenty strong. It was my base that had the problem. It's my base that's weak. The base doesn't have the health pool, even with max level buildings. Let's look at the greatest health pool of all the buildings in Castle Clash. 280 plus 476. We're about 750. Okay, 750,000. Well, Dove can hit for 2 million. Okay, one shot and the building's destroyed. What it will create by having even more invulnerable heroes will be simply your base gets 100%ed in Guild Wars because of one hero and a Doom Balloon. Okay? Because the hero won't die. And that's it. So the days of head-to-head are becoming few and far between. The old school, meet them at the OK Corral and I call you out. Those days are over. This isn't Tombstone anymore. Okay, this is new Wild West. We are having invulnerable heroes that are designed to simply time us out, and Occultist is really helping with that scenario. In terms of his limitations, that range of his skill activation, although I don't see it anywhere described, I think that range is very, very important to keep in mind. You've got to keep within a 14 square radius of the guy in order to get his skill effect applied to your remaining heroes. I think that he is a support hero by true definition. He is not an attack hero. I think it would be a waste, and it would put him at a distinct disadvantage to have offense-related talents on him, insignias, and to set him up offensively. I think he's got to stay alive. The new talent and enchantment are interesting, but I don't know if they apply well to this man in what he does best. And I can get into that when I do a video on the talent and enchantment. A hero that comes very well through the breakthrough process and through the upgrading process, but he is very squishy. We have to keep in mind, and I'll start to bring us to a close, we have to keep in mind that healing is going to provide timeouts in this game. Your base is still going to get 100%ed in any game mode where building damage equates to victory. And in addition, healing only does so much. Healing is not damage reduction. If Valentina over here, to the left of Occultist, if she has 1.2 million health, and she gets hit by a Dovekeeper critical strike, and that critical strike is 2.8 million damage, Valentina will be dead. Health pool completely taken to zero with one strike. The healing effects that Occultist is giving will not help Valentina. She'll be dead with one hit. She won't be able to heal. She'll be dead. Any kind of life drains, any kind of healing pets, if you are hit beyond the capacity of your health pool, your total health, you're dead in this game. So healing only goes so far. Damage reduction is a kind of a different story. Damage reduction is at least going to reduce that 2.5 million strike to something that hopefully your health pool can accommodate. So I would, if you're using Occultist and you want to make him the center of your defense scenario, I would also investigate damage reduction, because it is one thing to heal up, but it's another to reduce the damage so you don't get that classic one-shot, and then also be more effective with your healing, because you're going to be able to actually absorb those heals over time because your hero's alive. So remember, difference between damage reduction and healing. Mass healing is only going to get you so far in this game. I think you need a combination. I would say also keep in mind, last word on the man, that the one little knife he throws at somebody, that's not going to do much. Okay? He's not an attacker. And that is a total of 1,200% his attack damage over 3 seconds. All right? So he's not going to be a real high DPS guy. He's not an attacker by any means. He is just a supporter for your team. How's he compared to Walla Walla? I'd still take Walla on my team any day of the week. Walla is going to provide an attack boost as well as the heal. Big debuff of enemy movement speed. Helps us in a lot of ways, and I think is a better total utility hero than Occultist. In terms of the new talent, I would be careful. Blade Dance at level 9, like any level really, even though it has a great effect, it is fully dependent on the fact that your hero is dodging. It will raise his dodge at all times, but only when your hero is under attack, because that's the only time you can dodge. Only when your hero is under attack are you going to be gaining the attack bonus, and are you going to be recovering health. The cooldown I'm not worried about so much. I am worried about it being completely dependent. What it does well is completely dependent on the fact that you're going to be under attack. So if your Occultist is in the center of the base, he is going to be receiving a much lower probability of being attacked. My Levanica down here at the corner, it will be under attack. So the talent itself will not be helping him, except for giving him a higher dodge rate. So he's got to get that big attack on him, either through direct basic attack like Anubis's Claws, or he's got to be being attacked through some kind of an auto proc for that talent to be functional, to give the attack and recovery of health bonus. So a great one to put on a tank, but I don't know so much about a support hero. I've not changed the talent on my Walla Walla. I don't want Walla to be getting an attack bonus and a health recovery dependent on the fact that he is being attacked. Even though Walla's got a super high dodge rate, which would make it more likely to happen, I don't want Walla even to be... I don't even want you to hint that my Walla is going to be attacked. Okay, I don't want that. So something more like a Sacred Light that's always working, a Wicked Armor that's always working, and Empower that gives them the auto proc ability. These are great things to have. Let's take a look at the enchantment. I should say even more severely limiting. This will give you a recovery of health and a health pool bonus. So your health pool gets increased by 50%. And you are recovering 6% of your health when attacking. The talent only functions for that healing process when you are under attack, because that's the only time you can be dodging. The enchantment only activates that second line, recovery of health, only activates when your hero is attacking, has to be engaged in direct attack. That will not transfer to the auto proc So you got to be up in front doing some head bashing, hero versus hero, direct attacking for that recovery of health to happen. You will get the health pool bonus though, regardless. So very limiting for our new hero and what he is designed to do. He is not designed to be under attack, making the talent very limiting for him. And he is not designed to be doing the attacking, making the enchantment a misuse, I think. I think something much more along the lines of a holy conviction, going to keep him alive and supporting the team. And the talents that we mentioned, like Empower, Sacred Light, a Wicked Armor, because when he throws out that Shiv, that flying dagger, it can kill him, the Reflect or Deflect in this game. I'm going to take it out with this. A C+ hero. The proximity limitation of his skill to activate is very limiting. I got to keep my heroes within about 14 squares. He is turning an already brutally timeout-oriented landscape of Castle Clash into even more brutal a process. You can forget Lost Battlefield. If you're playing at a level where you're taking on Breakthrough 30 heroes, none of them are going to die. Okay, you were already having enough problem with Stealth Dove and the rest of the crew. Now it's just gotten worse. He's going to result in 6 heroes being alive, but a base being 100% in Guild Wars. So you're going to lose all your attacks in Guild Wars when you're running this guy because your heroes are never going to die. And people can just park their heroes right next to one of yours and use them as a wall to generate their skill activations. Or allow the battle to last long enough that Doom Balloon itself will 100% your base. So that is a very sad effect of this hero. How can we turn this hero into an A+ hero? I got the solution. Change his skill description. Converting damage to buildings into building health and building damage reduction. Town Hall. About 750,000 health. 1 Lazulex proc. Take out 1/3 of my base. But imagine if this guy converted building damage into healing, and our building's health were to raise every X seconds through his skill effect. And in addition to that, he provides a damage reduction to the buildings, and it's got to be somewhere in the 60% or higher mark. You've got to be able to provide today's heroes the limitation of destroying your buildings with 1 skill activation. We have heroes that can hit into the millions. That destroys everything on your base. You give me a base healer and a base damage reducer, game changer. And he's on everybody's base team, defending. So you will see him on many bases, the Occultist, but that is for the healing provided and not anything to do with buildings. You just park a Stealth Dove with a Doom Balloon, like we always done. Even now it's easier. You walk away, you make a sandwich, you come back 100%. You give me actual building heals and damage reduction. Now all of a sudden we got a whole different game in Castle Clash. And it might be more effective to take out the heroes first rather than the buildings. So I would say a average hero certainly has its uses. It is a sad harbinger of what Castle Clash is becoming, where power creep has gotten so far out of hand that we now have the age of indestructible heroes, but a base still made of sand. So Heroes of Steel, base of sand. I will check you on the next video, and good luck in rolling him. If you don't get him, he is not going to be anything that is going to limit your opportunity to progress in this game or to make a really great account. Okay, he is not a game changer or an essential hero. All right, everybody, enjoy your clashing. Bye-bye.